Shabbat Shalom, Salam, what up, though? Title of this video is Transhuman, Transgender, Transsexual, Transition, right? A mutation, transmutation, like transportation. This whole transsexual agenda that's going on out there, that is specifically come from the European nations, specifically Romans and Greeks. There are African nations that have done the same thing. We really do your research and like research what you thought you knew or what you think you know. You know, um, you'll see a lot more. You'll see deeper. Okay, but one thing that they're doing, especially with the children and stuff like that. Now we know there's hormones and stuff like that in damn near every single piece of meat that they put out there. We know that there's human meat in the markets. There's tainted, um, sick meat. You know, there's been cancer found in chicken. There's been cancer found in a lot of the beef and all that stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? There is a thing called meat glue and shit like that. They're putting a lot of graphene oxide and nanotech and a lot of this stuff out there. You know, and you do your research on the new food. What is it? I guess you want to say distribution or the food from before 19 and all that type of stuff. You know, they had a plan of the new food that will be administered. You know, there's a lot of lab grown food out there, which is it's not real food anymore. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be dead not to have real food. How are you going to get nutrition from food that doesn't have any nutrition? You know what I'm saying? They try to explain away the perverseness and the polluted shit, you know what I'm saying, or give an excuse to justify why they have lab grown meat. There's no such thing as a food shortage. The motherfuckers taking that shit underground in the dumps. I mean, there's videos, I mean, it's common sense, you know what I'm saying? It's artificial thing. It's created that way because, you know, when you're dealing with people who monopolize and they want their way because they have nothing for real. You know what I'm saying? Fraternities and things that are bound by death oaths. You know what I'm saying? That's why there's all kinds of altars. There's all these different deities all over what we call America and in all over in the earth, literally in the earth and on the earth. You know what I'm saying? In the waters and stuff like that. Yeah, because it's the system is based off of it's constructed for continuous or a continuum of death oath keeping. Okay, when you go to the book of Isaiah, um, research when they will no longer sacrifice to goat demons, right? Research that part and read that and see what it says. No one speaks about this in churches. Okay, most religions, Christianity, they don't speak about that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the truth of it. The system produces death, debt, and confusion, destruction. You know what I'm saying? Severing of families and stuff like that. It's opposed to what is living. It's a necromancy illusion of power through invocation and evocation of things that are not known to most people because it has been hidden and kept from them for as long as it has, um, and is no longer being concealed or occult. Okay, it's no longer being occult, um, because the word occult is the definition in deeper spelling it out or to make it more plainly clear to discern and identify the connections and the pieces is the word secret. You know what I'm saying? To be done in secret, to be veiled, to be hidden. And this is where the symbolism of the owl comes from. And when you talk about the fraternity of the court of owls and the, this, that, and the third, all these Freemason fraternities, they're fraternities, okay? They're fraternal orders. They're not real power structures. There's no power in seducing and forcing your desires upon other people and destruction and murder and genocide and cannibalism, and all that type of stuff. There's no power in kidnapping people's families and all that type of stuff. When we talk about colonization, it wasn't just white people that doing that. Now, most of the doggish, barbaric things came from the European nations, of all the different kinds that there is, um, and the Islamic nations as well. Most people don't talk about the Arab slave trade. Just like most people don't know that many of the so-called Arabs of today are actually white people, because Aboriginal Arabs are melanated, deep melanated, and all the way to copper tone flesh. So you have the white people that have taken over Islam, they've taken over Christianity is their shit anyway. Not all white people, what I'm saying, because all white people or all non-melanated people do not agree with the agendas and shit that's going on nowadays. But this trans stuff, the transferring of ignorance and arrogance and death um, agreements and stuff like that, it's just null and void because it's confusing these children. What possesses a child in the way to say, they feel like they might be a trans mutant, whatever, what I'm saying, but they don't know this and the third. And then you give them these so-called medications. This is like the fucking Russian sleep experiments and shit like that. They're only experimenting on these people. They don't give a fuck about y'all. I don't know why in that alphabet bullshit community think that these motherfuckers really give a fuck about y'all. They don't give a fuck about y'all. Like, you don't know. You don't know what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? These are dead things that are projected through illusions and delusions of power, um, to give an illusion as if they actually live. The dead themselves cannot come here on their own accord and do whatever they desire to do. They have to have a channel. They have to have a network. They have to have a doorway. Okay, they have to have a gateway of some sort. And this is one reason why shit like CERN exists in the different CERN machines that there are in the earth, as well as like magnetic chambers and stuff like that. All the little rituals, the blood sacrifices and stuff like that. Black Lives Matter. That was a giant ass worldwide or earthwide blood ritual. Okay. Um, so the blood sacrifices and human sacrificing and stuff like that, and animal sacrifices, is a requirement for those oaths to be fulfilled, right? That's part of the criteria of keeping those covenants. Okay. Um, every fraternal order in this earth that is opposed to the Most High will be destroyed and is being dismantled. Okay, there's no way around that. There is no one doing it. People get angry, then they be gang stalking people and hunting people. They hunt the soul. There's people really out there snatching souls. Like, that shit really exists. I don't give a fuck what other people talking about. This, that, and the third. Like, when you have your own experiences, and then you have things from eyewitness accounts, which is also accounted as your own experience. What I'm saying, or experiences. Then you have to question, why the fuck do you make shit like this? That big ass tuning fork or trident that's over there. What is that really for? You know what I mean? And not only that, let's deal with the lines that come down from it that look like a triangle, right? Invisible pyramid that's held up by a tuning fork. The fuck is the tuning fork for? That goes with Project HARP. Okay, it's a frequency tuning fork. So when you talk about these solar magnetic storms or plasma storms or cloud seeding storms or false or weather weaponry and this, that, and the third, that's that shit. That's connected to the 5G radio, microwave radio frequency emission towers. Okay, the capacitors, the transformers, it all runs like a system. Okay, it's like the it's like the endocannabinoid system in your entire body, connected to the other systems that it relates to. You see what I'm saying? So that the regulation of those systems to make sure everything stays in absolute function, right? A connectivity by relation. So in other words, Einstein's theory of relativity we can use for that. So the solution to these things is tell these motherfuckers the truth, because it is the truth for what it is, and nobody give a fuck about them having a hissy fit. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. One, all All you fraternal orders are on land that's not your land. So you're all cursed anyway. Just letting you know that. Anybody in these Freemasonic orders, you are cursed people, flat the fuck out. And the only way to get rid of that curse is to walk according to the Most High, and He will send you to your own land where you belong. All these people that's out here talk about, especially white people, talking about go back to where you came from, motherfucker. Bitch, you go back from where you came from. Y'all motherfuckers don't belong here. Just because you were born in these areas because your ancestors murdering, you know what I'm saying, and committing genocide and all the atrocities that they've done, doesn't mean that you have right to this land. You still don't. Those deities that y'all came with, y'all altars, you know what I'm saying, your weapons, your devices, that shit is done and void. The Most High not taking that no more. You know what I'm saying? He's not letting it affect his people no more. Your doors, your windows, your gateways, your portals have been shut. You know what I'm saying? The cracks, crevices, all that shit. Like all of your opportune moments have been nullified. You know what I'm saying? It's null and void. Y'all are people, not mankind, but y'all are people that bleed. You have an expiration date. Okay. There's all this wars about dumb shit, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, the reality of the reasons that there's colonization, there's wars, racism, that racism is because all races is not mankind. All races, I don't technically think was supposed to be here. Maybe has been permitted for the purposes that it has up to this point in time, because there is the truth that all people will see. Like the generations before us, our generations are going to see that stuff. Many people of our generations are going to experience and go through those things worse, like way, 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 way worse. Why? Because there's so many people who, for so long, have this is a conspiracy theory. You know, well, the thought to conspire was there, but you're a bitch, so shut the fuck up. And yeah, I say that because you're talking about dead things that's around. You got to think about this. If you go to a Hebrew Israelite camp, right, they're going to tell you the laws, the hundreds, blah, blah, blah laws. And many of them don't even know what they're talking about. No disrespect to anything or anybody other than those who are just fucking, you choose to be wicked just because you choose to be wicked. And that's of all kinds of things, religions, whatever, you know, sex, whatever you want to call it, organizations, that's all the same shit. If you're not producing what the Most High has created for us to do out here, then your time is worthless. Your presence is worthless in this earth. You know what I'm saying? Because what are you doing? You're consuming, but you're producing nothing. You see what I'm saying? Um, so that being said, I say that because this shit has to stop. Transgender, whatever the fuck they call that shit, is literally the rise of normalizing pedophilia. That's what it is. Transgenderism, the confusion, the delusion from those wicked spirits that have possessed those peoples and seduced them and influenced them, perverted them into thinking that they are something that they are not. Now, that is, you know, all beings have masculine and feminine energy and frequency in them. You see what I'm saying? Yet, if you were born with one penis, you are, you know, and you got testicles, you are a male. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? Take the dresses off, put that shit up. You look weird. You sound weird. Faggot is a bundle of sticks, and y'all motherfuckers, like, they're ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've shut businesses down and stuff like that because these motherfuckers that run their dead system of death, you know what I'm saying, are the same way. They're worse than barbarians. They're worse than dogs. They're worse than all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They're worse than monsters. They're like, all they know how to do is destroy. And they don't even do that right. You know what I'm saying? But praise be to the Most High. But I say all this because if you fear speaking this truth and standing in it, living by it, you're a coward. You know what I'm saying? Who gives a fuck what they think? They didn't create you. They didn't make you. Now you got clones, you got drones, there's whole laboratories. Look this shit up. That junk is crazy. How people be running their mouth about this, that, and the third about somebody else, but it's like, my nigga, you don't even study and it's in your neighborhood. The fuck are you talking about? You sound nuts, but these people again have been blinded. The Most High has blinded them through their own desires. And the renouncing of the traditions of your forefathers is key for you all of this day, of whatever color, kind of race, and creed you are, for you to obtain or be obtain a position to function in this earth, to stay in the land of the living. You must break your oaths that you made with land that is not your own land, with the murder of your ancestors, the genocide of your ancestors, the rape, the cannibalism. White people used to fucking eat people. You know what I'm saying? Like there's still people, white people, brown people, all kind of colored people, kinds of peoples. They still be eating people to this day, eating shit that has parasites, that carry parasites and fucked up shit like snakes, rats, rabbits, raccoons, fucking dogs, cats. You know what I'm saying? What else? A lot of much fish carries parasites too. You know what I'm saying? The majority of animals that we have consumed over the years carry parasites. You know what I'm saying? Swine itself is like fucking garbage cans. You know what I'm saying? And the worms that burrow through people's through bones and stuff like that. Like those, like you wonder why you got all these diseases and dysfunctions and destruction in your own bodies, and you got people still in the churches talking about, well, Jesus did miracles. He healed the sick. That motherfucker looked at somebody and said, "Be healed." But what the fuck did he teach you to use with what the Most High gave us to eat that was good for food? That's the shit that they destroy. While they give other food that's full of high fructose corn syrup, which is a poison, TBHQ, which is a poison, um, all the artificial and synthetic flavors and colors and foods and shit. Most of that meat is so fucking terrible and not even real meat. Like you don't even really know what the fuck you eat just because it says on the wrapper beef and they made it look like that. You really convinced in your mind. I was convinced in my mind at one time about the same things because I used to eat the same stuff. You feel me? I used to drink most of the same stuff. I mean, we've come a long way only because of the Most High. But that shit is destroying people. You know what I'm saying? Apart from the frequencies that they putting out there. You know what I'm saying? And the cloud seeding, artificial weather weaponry warfare that they be doing. You know what I'm saying? Apart from the gangs in the street, apart from the cartels that run this earth, not run the earth, but run their system. Because we need to start saying that the right way too. They don't run the world. They're not that powerful. They're not that powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't give a fuck what people talking about when it comes to that because a tree is still growing, the grass still grows, flowers still bloom in their season. You feel me? That means there's a force and there's a power that's way beyond that you can't control, and you don't have that power to control that, nor the authority, nor the dominion, nor the rulership. You don't at all. Not in the airwaves, not in anything. I think it's Ezekiel, which is one of the names for the spirit of that taught men knowledge of the clouds. You know what I'm saying? One of the fallen ones. But there's ones that teach that have. I'm not gonna go into that right now. But long story short, you know what I'm saying? It's all an illusion. Get your children out of those places where you know that they talk about, oh no, they teaching Satanism in some of the schools, and you still let your children go through there, and you wonder why you got problems in your house. You know what I'm saying? It's like, when are we gonna be parents? Like guardians. You know what I'm saying? Parents are gatekeepers. A lot of y'all talk about gatekeepers, all these fraternal orders talk about gatekeepers. Y'all motherfuckers can't gatekeep shit. You know what I'm saying? What you doing? Harboring lies? Watching over the lies to make sure they stay, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that they stay out there, you know what I'm saying, by you hiding the truth. Like the Vatican got like what, 23 miles worth of book space, where the storage space just, you know what I'm saying, it's a big ass library, bro. You know what I'm saying? That they don't even show their own clergy until they age 75. Like, why you wait so long? Because by then you're too conditioned a different way. It's gonna be super hard for you to undo and to embrace something newer or greater than what you know, because it challenges everything it challenges your very existence. Flat the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Even many of the names that we call ourselves, that we name or labeled ourselves as, you know what I'm saying, are runoff pieces to the aboriginal seed, of who we really truly are. And I'm not gonna go into that right now. because if you should know, if you know what I'm saying. And people not gonna like certain things that other people say, but I mean, you don't have to like that. That's your opinion. But I never asked for your opinion. You know what I'm saying? I really like that's you, but your opinion doesn't dictate who I am and what I do and how I think. And that's what this system does. You know what I'm saying? They got patents for all this weird shit out there. And you have to really question everything, even your dreams, your visions. You have to question everything because you got to know that you know that you know that you know. You feel me? This psyop that they're doing right now in the name of war. You know what I'm saying? Um, Elon Musk says it all the time to go into Mars. No, that represents a war. Deities are invoking war. They're evoking spirits of war. You feel me? They know what the fuck they doing. Just so it's all about control because they have no real authority. No true authority. They have no true power. They have no true dominion or rulership. So that's why it's all about control. Someone who wants to be in control is really scared. Someone who wants to control everything is much fear in them. Fear, that's a fear of loss. You feel me? That's a fear of being overseen or undermined. That's a fear of lack of acknowledgement. That's a lack. That's poverty. Okay, this is why colonialism, as they say, exists. It's invasions. You know what I'm saying? It's intrusions. Um, that is a form of rape. That is literally a form of rape. You know what I'm saying? The stealing, the robbery of the land, destroying the earth and stuff like that. You are cursed people. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna answer for that. You and your children. You know what I'm saying? That's why y'all paying through it with your bodies and shit like that. Y'all sell y'all childrens and stuff like that. Y'all put them on these altars for all these weirdos to have their way with them and stuff like that. The human trafficking system is the whole system. The whole thing is human trafficking. It's just like different factions or different subdivisions of it. You know what I'm saying? Different offices, so to speak. But this is all ran by Papal Rome, the British. You know what I'm saying? The Germans, the Italians, and then you got the Barbers. You got the Arabs, the Aboriginal Arabs. You know, because people, I used to sit there and wonder, like, if they say brown people this, then, and the third, well, why you got a whole bunch of brown people in these churches or in some places where they were super rich, like because it's something different. You feel me? They somebody else, and they know they somebody else. This is why they you find stuff about shapeshifters and blah 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 blah. Because this earth, there's more things than what we've ever known. That's why they have horror movies because this shit really exists. You know what I'm saying? There's things out there, and there's things out there, and things coming that I'm telling y'all. You think Hollywood combine all their horror films together as one could kind of scratch it. There's no way. There's no way they're going to be able to do it because there's things in the waters that are coming up and will be coming up that are going to terrify people. They're not going to be like I'm telling you. This is not no game. You got more to think about more than just clones and drones and robot armies and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about drones of all kinds. All the spy drones, military drones. There's shit out there that when you really study it, and there's evidences out there and through your own experiences, that's when you go back to the paperwork and do a double take, like, wait a minute, this looked like this, what it sounded like, that looked like that, but they try to reword it like this to make it sound like this or make it look like something else, but it's still that, or it's really just that. You see what I'm saying? Like, even myself, I don't know. I no longer be like, delete this, delete that. Like, that's just the game, and that's one of those things that those are motherfuckers that like attention. They seek attention. You feel me? Because they never had it, and if they did, they ruined it. They fucking threw it away. You feel me? Now, me, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to these Freemasons because I was with some Freemasons at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? Very intimately. And if it wasn't for the Most High, I would have never been delivered from that stuff. Like, they're very manipulative. They're very manipulative and they're very deeply wicked. There are many people in these fraternal orders that don't even know what they're getting themselves into. And I advise you get out while you are able to, because you have sold your soul to darkness, to wickedness. That is literally that. There's more ways to sell a soul than just going, signing your name on a contract in blood. People do that shit all the time by shit that they speak. You know what I'm saying? These Freemasons and witches have been doing initiation rituals and projecting them at people for shit. I mean, they've been doing it for a long time, but it seems like they've been doing it a lot more in different ways for the last I say 6 to 7 years. You feel me? So when you watch your dreams, this is why we must have the most high when it comes to interpretation of things. You know what I'm saying? And properly identifying the related connections to things that are familiar to us. You feel me? That's why they call them familiar spirits and shapeshifters and some shape shifting into something that's familiar, because their goal is to manipulate the heart, to manipulate the emotions, you feel me, and the desires of the heart through emotional triggers. And that's connected to trauma bondage, bondage to trauma. Okay. This system, all the religions, is connected to this system, or meaning how they run the system, everything that they do, their so-called economy, is anti-culture. All right. And on a whole bunch of other shit at the same time. But the goal of this video was about transsexual. Many of you may remember back in the 90s, 80s, and all that type of stuff, and probably before then, I don't know. I haven't heard anybody say it like that, so that's why I say I don't know, as far as like before the 80s and all that stuff. But at one point in time, I'm saying, what's your sex? Sex is male or female. Now sex is yoking and cleaving and sticking your dick in somebody's vagina. You know what I'm saying? So that's an example of the confusion that they push out there. You know what I'm saying? Through these what they call dualisms or Hegelian dialectics. There's nothing wrong with dualism itself, because there's a right way for everything and there's a wrong way, or not right way for many things. You know what I'm saying? To everything. Just like there's what we call good or righteous, and there's wicked, and there's evil or bad. You know what I'm saying? Question many people is, which one's greater? Righteous. Why? When you stop eating dead things, your body, your ruach goes through a transformation. There's that word, transformation, a conformation to alignment, aboriginal alignment. Okay, to the maker, the designers, the all above all is what I say. You know what I'm saying? The most high. Because many of these people in these other fraternities and other stuff like that, they talk the all, this, that, and the third, but they talking about something completely, totally different. I'm talking about the one who created what we had known as Baal or Baal or Bel or whatever. You know what I'm saying? All these other deities that are all in the earth and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Even when you going back to your roots and stuff like that, learning your heritage and stuff like that, don't trust everything just because they say, "Oh, we're the chosen people." There's so many people out there talking about they the chosen people. That shit got to be proven. It's tried and proven. You know what I'm saying? And when the evidence does not add up clearly, and if it's true evidence, it should be very overwhelming just by your own existence, like your own body, you yourself prove the lie to be a lie. You know what I'm saying? And to be done away with. Okay. Now, whether this 1,000-year reign is made up from these weirdos, you know what I'm saying, the Illuminati, or if it's a real thing, a 1,000-year reign of Shalom, the Illuminati will not have that upper hand. Because the Illuminati illumines to illuminate. What are you illuminating with? If you're illuminating with confusion and lies, you have no power. You are no light. You have that your existence has proven you to be a liar and proven that there's something above and way greater than you. Y'all know that what y'all hidden and all these bunkers that y'all got, you know what I'm saying, and facilities and storage units underground and on, you know what I'm saying, above the underground, you know what I'm saying, above Middle Earth, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the third. Like, the limits to the Most High is non-existent. So what makes you think that you will limit His people? Now, we were deceived before, you know what I'm saying, and we were confused and in delusions and all kinds of shit. But when the Most High comes for His people, you heard His words, be gone. You know what I'm saying? That means the eradication of your kind. So, Yah, let your will be done and fight against those who fight against me. Fight against the fear, fight against all fears, their fears, projected fears, my own fears. You know what I'm saying? Fight against all fears, spirits of fear, the denial, the connections to those spirits, you know what I'm saying? Through the trauma and the lacks and the poverty, the lies, the confusions, the perversions, the adultery, the idolatry. Break those altars in pieces. Destroy and remove those things into their own prisons that you have built for them. Put them in prison, take them into captivity, so that your creatures will thrive in this earth, and that we may function in the way that you purpose us to function in this earth. Because those cages that you put my people in, you're going into. You heard me right. Those cages y'all put my people in, you yourselves are going into them, but they will be even worse cages and FEMA camps. Don't be deceived by this so-called war that's going on, because it's to trigger whatever, everybody's so-called motif, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? I really think that if people are chosen, that's just really gonna it's not hard to see that, to observe that. You know what I'm saying? And question is, chosen for what and who and why? Because wicked people are chosen too. I guarantee you, most Christians will never know, and Islam and so on and so forth, Zoroastrians and nihilists and so on and fucking so forth. They do not know that they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know that they're deceived. So when everybody gonna be looking up like, oh, aliens. Nah, motherfucker, them aliens, them motherfuckers been down here and underneath our feet. Okay? These motherfuckers been trying to shoot missiles up and still can't get that shit done. Those are controlled rockets. You ain't leaving this motherfucking environment if you're not taken out of out of this environment. And whatever, if you're taken out of this environment, it's because of something that's beyond you. Every occultist, whatever, and all these, religions and fraternities and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? First of all, the Illuminists, y'all stole that from from some of my own people. You feel me? Y'all stole that. So the question is, what is your real identity? Abominations. That's your identity. Apart from the Most High, you've cut yourself off from your nutrient source. Making cities, and then putting asphalt, or what's this called? Tar and shit like that, and all these things that fucking kill, or the goal was to kill off the nutrients, the plants and the trees and stuff like that, that produce the fruits that they were created to produce for our food. I really don't think we were created to eat animals. Because I'm gonna say this: if you call yourself a Hebrew Christian, or Hebrew Christian Israelite, whatever you want to call it, or anybody, you can talk about the Most High, this, and this, but you're still eating flesh. If we're really not supposed to eat blood, then we're not supposed to eat flesh. Period. That means everybody broke that law. All of us, many times over, and that's a problem. You feel me? Because when you talk about ultimate peace and shalom, you have to stop killing. You have to stop shedding blood, period. It's not just blood of man or what Nephilim hybrids and this, that, and the third. Like, you have to stop shedding blood, period. You know what I'm saying? Go turn that off. Hey, go stop that. Now I will say this too, because among there's mutated creatures out there that the Most High will instruct, like, that's not supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? And I want to tell, it's just so much, man. Like the time that we're living in, fuck their agendas. Focus on the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the Most High is he's way greater than them, all of them. You know what I'm saying? And those fears, you got quasi corporations. You know what I'm saying? Incorporations, District of Columbia, this, that, and the third. They're not real. Fiat currency, which is a dead man face on it, that says in God they trust. That's the God they talking about. That's not the maker. That's not the most high. That's the libation of currency and frequency that people keep speaking and uttering value onto. You know what I'm saying? In their virtue and stuff like that. It's backed by nothing but by people's words, by their thinking, their visualization of internalized value, what they find as worthy or virtuous. You know what I'm saying? This is why it has polluted so many of the spirits behind those inventions and devices that was meant to destroy many of us. You know what I'm saying? And many things in that it has um destroyed. It was meant for confusion and exactly control. You feel me? That's why they go steal the gold, all the minerals, and this, that, and the third, the mining agendas and stuff like that. Because these motherfuckers trying to recreate a home, you know what I'm saying, that's similar to what they used to know, and things that they used to do in ancient times and different places that they can't find in the lands that they're in, you know what I'm saying, of their own homelands. You know what I'm saying? Because it was stripped from them. They were like not giving it with the mindset to not give it to them for a purpose. That's why when you talk about your enemies are put beneath your feet, that's why these motherfuckers live beneath us. They have no choice but to stay beneath our feet. And if they come up here, it will be war. It will be war because you came out of a domain you weren't supposed to be in to begin with. All right. Now, when we talk about Aboriginal sin, I would just say the Aboriginal era was just being disobedient to the Maker, because we could say that it was who having sex with the serpent kind. You know what I'm saying? Intermingling with another race that she wasn't supposed to be messing with, and doing forbidden practice. With, you know what I'm saying? It could have been tantric practice, sex practices. It could have been all kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot that it could have been. You know what I'm saying? We don't know that, absolutely. When they talk about forbidden fruit, they got all these images that they bored to propaganda and subliminal messages in people's minds that it was an apple. It's not a fucking apple. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I say disobedience because whatever took place, disobedience has a consequence to this day. Just saying. And many people, many generations had been grown in how you say groomed groomed in stubbornness and pride, and pride, okay, um, and greed, and this so-called self-entitlement or right. They'd be like, "We're taking our rights away." You don't got no rights here. Why? Because you on land that's not your land. That's why. Them motherfuckers know that because they took that. They took that, and you know what I'm saying, from the teachings that they learned from the people that they stole from, and that they raped and murdered and intermingled and stuff like that. Their goal was to make everybody a mutant, to turn all things opposed to the Most High. You feel me? So this is why, going back to the control thing, this is why they have what they call COVID. These visa tracking identified tracking systems and stuff like that, because then in the making of a zombie, they will actually be able to control those people who are opposed to the Most High, because they trust them to provide for them as if they are their God. That's why they say in God they trust. That's why it's written on what they call their currency or their banknotes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not even real. It's money because it's they monetize it. They're watching it. They're overseeing it. That's money. You know what I'm saying? And this goes into all kind of different stuff. You know what I'm saying? But when you're talking about the pyramids, this and the third, like I feel like there's pyramids all over the earth, and I don't think it was just brown people who took place in building these things. I could be wrong, but non-melanated people had to come from somewhere. You feel me? And some of the stories that I've heard of our people's feeding their children, raising their children in their houses. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers, not all people now is totally different than what it, what it was at one point in time. But those people of those kind, back then, they don't know how to raise no child. There's a lot of people to this day that still don't know how to raise no child. Brown, whatever color you is, you know what I'm saying? They don't know how to talk to no child. They don't know how to talk to nobody who's older than them. You know what I'm saying? They don't got no common sense. You know what I'm saying? They ruthless. They just out there. And I tell my children, sneaky people always get caught when you're doing wicked. You will always literally be exposed. And there's nothing you can do to stop that. The Most High sees and hears all things. He knows what you're doing. He's warned all of you, I don't know how many times, within your own kind, among yourselves. And y'all didn't take heed. So now, you know what I'm saying, the Most High is going to destroy you. And he's going to use these wars. He's going to use these inventions and devices that y'all made to destroy you. So that's what it's for, to oppose you. You think you're warring opposed to us. However, the effects of that is on you. That's attached to you, bound. Absolutely. And there's no one doing that. All the witches and sorceries and enchantments and stuff like that. This is why the Most High said, if that's what's, um, I would think that it would be true that he said that, that he suffered not a witch to live, because they've been around for so long, and letting them do all this other shit as this is why. These are Nephilim hybrids. Genesis 3, verse 5 through 17. Okay? You're dealing with a world, an earth full of Nephilim hybrids. Some of them are 6 feet, some of them 7 feet, some of them taller. You know what I'm saying? Underneath us, and in places where they're in holding places that have been, they've been put there for a season until it's time for them to be released into their punishment. All right. So the wars of Most High's indignation, these weapons of his indignation are these types of things to war opposed to the wicked ones. That's why he speaks to his people the way he does, concerning these things. Because these are all abominations. You know what I'm saying? It's filthy. Like filthy dreamers. The New Testament is a papal bull. It's a declaration of acquisition and inquisition, yet again, crusades and what they call that, conquests and all that type of stuff. The sleeper cells that's all over what we call America, been here for a long, 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 long time. And then they let millions more in. This, that, and the third. Like, come on, man. You don't see a connection right there to the reality right there. And y'all still on TikTok, Facebook, wherever, you know what I'm saying, trying to show you booty, trying to show you boobs, and you know what I'm saying? Like, how much of a camel toe you got, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all know what the fuck you doing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Um, like let's really get real here. Y'all go to the places, most of y'all, to show off. You want to be seen. You're addicted to attention. Many people are addicted to their oppressors, to oppression. You feel me? Addicted to confusion, addicted to lies. This is why so many people are going through so many fucked up relationships or connections with a man and a woman. You know what I'm saying? And divorces and stuff like that, because there are assigned spirits who are assigned to pervert and to derail and to confuse and to destroy other people's destinies, because they don't got no destiny but destruction. They're not gonna tell you that. You know what I'm saying? That's the secret. They're not gonna tell you that. They're not gonna tell you that you are the rightful ruler in all of the entire earth, all of the earth and the waters, and all that's in the earth and the waters. You feel me? That's Genesis 1, bro, or Agnostics 1. You know what I'm saying? And it's not them motherfuckers. It's people like myself. You feel me? My people. And my people are all those whom the Most High says his people is. Not them 1948 fraudulent weirdos. It ain't the Khazars. It's not the Philistines. It ain't them. You know what I'm saying? It's not y'all. It never was y'all. And y'all know that. That's why they manipulated people, made up all these lands and blah, 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 blah. And they try to sanction everybody else, because when they don't get what they want, they act like a little big old little brat, and they have a hissy fit and want to go on a terror streak to destroy everybody. that they possibly can. That's why we're seeing the truth of what them 1948 weirdos, who they truly are, the spirits that behind what they call the way. That's Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Zoroastrianism, and all the other shit that's out there. You know what I'm saying? That shit is all manipulated, copycat characters of perception of the imaginations and desires of the mind, the heart. Okay, it's a projected um, uh, character personification of character. You know what I'm saying? Connected and related to the desires of the heart. That's why they come up with the American dream. Live what you want. You could be anybody. You could be anybody you want. Why don't you just fucking be you? Why would you want to be like everybody else? And they talk American Idol. Throw your motherfucking idols down. Hollywood, all that shit. That's all an agenda. They know what the fuck they doing. That's why they do what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Like they know they do this shit blatantly, openly because those machines with the frequencies and shit like that, and different stuff like that. It's a manipulation control. It's like a switchboard, or I call it a Ouija board, like an Earth-wide Ouija board, trigger board. You know what I'm saying? Trigger traps and senses traps and shit like that. Fuck that shit. Them motherfuckers desensitized. That's why they need us. Because think about it, social engineering to study people, right? And you have think tanks and stuff like that. They need us to learn what they don't know, what they can't know, and even most than that, they don't know. They know it's powerful, but they will not. They cannot discern it because it was stripped from them. It's stripped from them. It's taken from them. They don't. The Most High has taken it from them. You know what I'm saying? He's locked them out. He's blocked them off. They don't get none of that. You know what I'm saying? They get nothing but the punishment and judgment, the wrath, the imprisonment that their forefathers received. And it's a generational thing with that. You feel me? That's one reason why they talk about your fathers and their lies. And then the double part of that is when our people goes to them religions and trust in that stuff and their so-called deities is in the third, and then you get something from those so-called deities, but it doesn't last long. You feel me? So whatever deity you calling out to is supposed to be your source for provision, sustenance, substance, and protection, healing, and whatever else, livelihood. You feel me? So that's why it has a significance the way that it has, in effect among all of us diversely in the ways that it has. You feel me? But y'all break the bindings, break the bondages, break the yokes, the shackles, break the illusions and delusions, the walls, the barriers, the traumas, the altars, the witches, the sorcerers, enchanters, whatever other names y'all motherfuckers got, the pages and the sages, the illuminists, the illusionists. You feel me? The magicians, the magi's, the perversions, the adulteries. Chase them, break them, fight opposed to those who fight against us, and be an adversary to our adversaries. Punish them, Father, I intervene and intercede on our behalf, on behalf of your people, for your people. Fight for us, remember your people. Put them in punishment, put them beneath our feet. The necks of my enemies I will step on. You feel me? You are beneath me. You are beneath us. And that's the real truth, because there's no system that works without people. There's no Superman. So who got the power for real? You showing us that we got the power, but you marking us because it seems, you know what I'm saying, you think that we're not able to do that power for real. You see, we not in control ourselves. Other than self-control, you feel me? You must learn to rule you. You can't rule nothing else if you don't know how to rule you. You can't even rule your house if you don't rule you. You feel me? There's an order. That's where they got that from. That's why they call it fraternal order or orthokeo, and all that shit. Fuck that shit, man. I'm not even gonna get into that. There's an order that's higher than them. I'm sick and tired of it. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why they, got all this shit to talk about, programming, predicting the future. Where the fuck you think they actually got that from? Like, you got to really sit back and think about stuff. You got that from somebody else beyond y'all motherfucking selves. You know what I'm saying? And part of that, portion of that is from when y'all colonizing shit and taking shit and, from learning from people, and then you use it against them as weapons and this, that, and the third. And all of a sudden, y'all supposed to be God. Y'all supposed to be the libation. Y'all just that libation, right? You the one libation, and there's nothing else. There's nothing else. You know what I'm saying? That's a fucking lie. That's some total bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And people of my generation and other generations, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all gotta check these children, bro. Like, you gotta help encourage them and dismantle those lies, because you cast out the spirits by casting down the lies, exposing it. Expose the lies. You know what I'm saying? Put it out there for what it really is. And transsexualism is the initiation of normalizing pedophilia. Now, let's put it a little bit deeper. I know goddamn well that y'all not about to sit there and let y'all children go to a place if there was if you knew that that gay teacher was a pedophile. I know goddamn well you wouldn't let your children go in there. Y'all go on uprise, y'all be all kind of shit. You be ready to whoop somebody mama. You feel me? You better look here. There'd be all kind of riots and protests and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's exactly what the fuck it is already. That's why you got men going into women restaurants and stuff like. Women bathrooms and stuff like that. But here's another thing too. These motherfuckers, that's their lifestyle. That's their traditions. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're known to do. That's what the fuck they do. That's why they do it. That's why they hide it, because they know it's wrong. They've been checked by other nations over the many years and millenniums and stuff like that, and they didn't like it because they can't force their lifestyle upon other people. You feel me? So the French, the Chinese, Mongols, and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? The Prussians, Russians, and all that stuff, all them people over there, them motherfuckers live that type of shit. They are the dragon seed, the serpent seed, the devil seed, the seeds of the people. The devil is a liar, that they say. The one who lies is the devil. You know what I'm saying? A liar is a devil, a slanderer, a Satan, an adversary to the truth, opposed to what is true, opposed to living, the living. That's why they have all the, you can't go on here, it's federal property, it's covenant property. Who's covenant, motherfucker? Because you broken the covenant of the Most High, so therefore it's null and void. It's absolutely null and void. They send out their hit squads to silence people or try to silence people, but look how many people that y'all not gonna let them silence though. You feel me? That's why these motherfuckers is exposed. Don't go working for them. You want to stay cursed? Don't go work for their facilities. Don't go work for their militaries, for their FBIs and blah, 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 and CIAs and DHSs. Don't go working for that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Why would you want to work for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it should, people talk about love, 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 love. I sit there and I wonder. They talk about love, but the word love, what is the definition of that? Because you flip that word around, it says evil. There's a lot of wickedness being done. You know what I'm saying? Adoration is totally, and compassion is totally different from what is projected as what they call love. Because if that's what's right, there's something wrong with the whole definition of that motherfucker. Because look, people give people what they love, poison every day. Here, I love you. Oh, you shouldn't have. No, you really shouldn't have. You really shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? And they get angry at you because you won't let your children do this. Oh, let them do this. You let them give them some candy, motherfucker. What you mean? You eat that shit. The fuck? And even if you eat that shit first, I'm still not about to give mine that poison no more, man. You know what I'm saying? You got me fucked up. Um. So yeah, man, it's so much out here. But transform your thinking. Be transmutated in your thinking. You know what I'm saying? In your eyes, this will affect everything. You feel me? You must know that the Most High is who He is, because He is who He is, and He's not y'all motherfuckers. Y'all motherfuckers is not Him. All these, well, God said, well, Jesus said. Jesus ain't the Most High. That's not the Most High. That's not even a God. That's a fucking man in a system, a society that had enslaved my people, murdered and did genocide on my people and many other people, even their own people. Christianity, pedophilia was known in Christianity. You know what I'm saying? That's why they got the Crusades and all that shit, the protests of the Protestants of Rome, this, then, there. That's where that shit came from. The priests and stuff like that, the catacombs, probably a lot of the bodies of the babies and children and stuff that they raped and people, other stuff that they did, tortures and stuff that they did. They did a lot of shit. They was burning our people, filleting our people, feeding them to crocodiles, cutting them up and eating them. You know what I'm saying? The breeding farms and shit. Like I'm not teaching hate white people, because there's white people that I know that are not like that. You know what I'm saying? They stand full-heartedly opposed to that stuff. I'm talking about the system as a system. You know what I'm saying? This is why they want to shut people down and try to shut people up, because they can't you can't handle the truth. They can't handle the truth. They can't handle the truth because it shows them who they really are, and they don't like that shit. But they don't want to change. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to change. They're too, you know what I'm saying? Many people are too old. They stuck in their ways. They don't want to change. They don't want to do different. They like being complacent, and they like they enjoy the how would you say that? The expression of convenience, right? It's convenient to get you some Xfinity Wi-Fi or something like that. However, if you're not knowledgeable of what Wi-Fi boxes were created for as a military instrument to destroy people, they were deployed into people's houses with microwave frequency radiation. But there's ways and solutions to combat that, like Faraday the fuck out that motherfucker and your house. Or just keep that motherfucker out your house and Faraday it, you know what I'm saying? But this, then, the third. Here's another idea. Don't live how everybody else has come to accustomed to live. Live different. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's not that easy for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's situation is different. You know what I'm saying? Which requires different maneuvers and strategies and timing and perception, and so on and so forth. But when you got systems out there where the system is putting poisons in the neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? It's the CIA funded all that shit. Every drug war, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? It's all funded by them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? What I'm sitting and thinking is, how is it that y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all legalize recreational cannabis, you know what I'm saying, or medical cannabis for people who have a card, but my people is the people that farmed that stuff, grew it, farmed it, you know what I'm saying, or grew it, cultivated it, harvested it, all that stuff. And you mean to tell me now we gotta pay taxes on it? Fuck you. Buy us, fuck you. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the maker ain't sitting there telling us we have to do that like that, why are you doing it? Because they said so. You better be afraid if he gonna kill you and how he gonna do that if he do that, versus how they would try to kill somebody. Because ain't no guarantee that he gonna let them do it. Now he might permit them to get close to show you something yourself and how much he adores you. No, because I've been there. I know because I've experienced many times over. You feel me? This shit is a lie. Christianity is a lie. Islam is a lie. All these religions are lies. There are portions of them that connect to common sense of just being and being in alignment, in sync with creation. This is what we're supposed to be, in sync with our maker, designer, and creation. And this is why they have these towers and shit like that, the frequency disruptors, the disruptors and frequency manipulators. They don't control it. Stop saying they control it, because there's many times they talk about on the news, oh, it's about to be cold and icy and snowy and 20 degrees. Next thing you know, it's 80 degrees. Where the fuck that come from? But y'all forecasting these invocations and evocations to spell it in this projection, to give off this how you call it, y'all, perception, right? Influenced perception, so that now people are so convinced. They'll be like, oh, yo, it's about to be 20 degrees. The news said. Well, the word news written backward is what? Swin, or you can even rearrange the letters to make sown. You sown confusion. You sown lies. You sown division. You sown death. Guess what you reap? Confusion, death, lies, illusions. You feel me? You go invade other nations of other peoples, ain't got shit to do with you. starting wars and bringing other people into wars that ain't got shit to do with them. Now they family going through shit. Now they people going through shit. And your people going to go through some hella shit, some more shit, even deeper shit. Because y'all in some shit that done done some shit. It's some bullshit. But that's your shit. You feel me? Embrace that shit. So, um, it's like it was a continuous recyclical experience. You feel me? Um, and these motherfuckers know what they're doing, even though they don't know what they're doing. You feel me? Um, yeah. So next time you go out there, you see a storm, and you look at these clouds and the chemtrails. There's a whole process to how these storms be generated and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You watch. Many of us, we see this stuff. Like it's not, ain't no explaining that shit away like it don't exist. Get the fuck out of here. You could put somebody on pills, what this, that, and the third, and they still know the truth. That means you are not in control. Y'all want to be something that you're not. That's why it's projected out there as far as entertainment out there. People talk about, we could be this, I want to be this. Everybody want to be like somebody else. Be the fuck you. There's people out there talking, even with the Bibles and the Qur'ans, people want to be Muhammad. They want to be Moses. They want to be Jesus. They want to be this, that, and the third. That whole New Testament is bullshit. It's copyright. It's plagiarized from other texts of my ancestors. People who truly did walk in the truth. Now, if you my ancestors, you ain't walking the truth. I disown you. I disown you. I renounce you, and I denounce you, because I am for my maker, because my maker is for me. So I support what he said. You feel me? He nourishes me. He nurtures me. He heals me. Pause that video. I said stop it, meaning stop. Period. It means to be stopped. Pause. So it's not making any noise. I don't want to hear nothing about no Jesus. Because there's so many people that's speaking about God, Jesus, this, that, and the third. They don't even know what the fuck they talking about. And that's really bothersome. You know what I'm saying? Because there's all these people claim to be prophets. They claim to be people of influence. And there's so many people who really do desire to do right. You feel me? They desire to do right and they're seeking to do right. And they just got caught up with the wrong people. And that's fucked up, because why the fuck y'all not holding these weirdos accountable? Expose them motherfuckers, man. There's people probably going, there's people who have their thoughts about me. But at the end of the day, you're not who I am. You don't do what I do. You don't know why I do. You never even asked me why I do it. You just assumed something. And through that assumption, you came up with a false accusation and you went off of that. And that became your perception of how you see me or how you think of me. And that's foolish. It shows you are unwise. It shows you don't think right. It shows you lack. And it's a good possibility that you shouldn't be lacking it, but you chose to lack it because you let other people influence your mind and manipulate your mind, and they have the manipulative strategy opposed to you. You know what I'm saying? Or that leash on you, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going off of what everybody else said, and even off these books, y'all just going off these books and shit. There's things that you're gonna learn that you ain't. What if there's no book around you? Then what? I know many of y'all know some people who have learned some stuff that they don't know how to read a book to the day. So miss me with that bullshit. Talk about what the book said. You know how many people don't reread these so-called Bibles, the double bulls? Maybe it was a Papa Bull for that time and a Papa Bull for our time. It was just divided up into two different time zones that they called seasons of things that they've been doing. Maybe what if the Old Testament, you know what I'm saying, what if a lot of that came from Islam? For all we know, you know what I'm saying? There's so many things that correlate in relation and stuff like that between the Quran and what we call the Bible or the Torah and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, the Ten Commandments or whatever, I'll just say it like this. Whatever the Most High instructs you to do, just do it. Do it. Be you. Be true. Seek the Most High in all things and do it. Go do it. Don't ask nobody for their permission. You don't need nobody permission. For what? I used to think like that too. And then I got fed up. I'm like, fuck this. I'm not about to ask y'all motherfuckers for no permission, nigga. You didn't create me. Most of the stuff I went through, money, y'all wasn't around. Y'all was laughing at me. Y'all was mocking me and my family. Y'all was trying to do anything and everything that y'all could to be wicked and to see my destruction, and you still fail because you're not in control. And many of these things came from Freemasons. Flat the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you this: if you're a Christian, you are a Freemason. Whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not, it's the truth. You are a Freemason. You are a Satanist. And if you're part of Islam, because if when you research them deities and where they actually came from, beyond what people now say, you know what I'm saying? Islam holds so much from their own people. Just like the white people, they hold so much from their own people. They've enslaved their own people. You know what I'm saying? There was white slaves, you know what I'm saying, Russian sleep experiments. It's the same shit. Like, come on, man. A lot of them on kidnapped under there is white people in the facilities underneath our feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fucking real. They're known for orgies and sex parties and pedophilia and all that shit around here. That's why they use code words and stuff like that. So they think that people not gonna catch on to that shit, or if they do, it's gonna be too late. It's not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late. There's already people exploring, you know what I'm saying, stuff that's underneath our feet, going into abandoned places. It's not too late. Not it, for y'all. I would say it's too late. Y'all time been up. You know what I'm saying? And don't think for a minute that the Most High is gonna let these weirdos desires and their plans and their vision be fulfilled the way they desire to do it. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna let it happen. So he's purging all the wickedness out of the earth, and there's a lot of wickedness in this earth. The waters carry so much blood and so much dead bodies in it. It's nuts. Alone. Then most people, you know what I'm saying, don't even know in your cities is a fucking burial ground. You're living in a graveyard. You know what I'm saying? And you wonder why certain shit's going on in your cities. You're wherever you at. You know what I'm saying? On top of the music and shit like that, as like fucking intoxicated and toxic with fucking wicked spirits and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all necromancy that's going on. You look at the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the book of the Necronomicon, the Satanic Bibles, and all this type of shit. When you really study these motherfuckers, and you sitting there thinking like, why the fuck do y'all why y'all think like that? Like, what is wrong with y'all motherfuckers? These motherfuckers is really sick. You talking about a Nephilim hybrid? Most of them, I guarantee you, they gonna be wicked because that's just what the fuck they is. You know, there's a whole vengeance call out there too, but vengeance is the Most High's. But ain't no more that, you know, turning your cheek. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit. That was to say to pacify people and to be like, you know, if you show them mercy, you know, Yah will show you mercy. That's not what the Most High said. If the things that was going on back then was a command to do justice and judgment, and he's the same yesterday, today, and forever, or, you know, everlasting, continuously, he not changing his name. He not changing the way he work and do things, how he operate, his system. He not changing the way he thinking. If we don't turn, you know what I'm saying, from what is wicked, the error. That's what sin is, error. Abiding in error. And people talk about, oh, I'm blessed. You probably are. Being less in your function, being less in who you are, being less in your identity, being less connected to the Most High, being less, you know what I'm saying, giving less room. Like, it's a limitation right there. Less, and or to be less of you in those wicked ways, or be less influenced. So yeah, but even our language, you know what I'm saying, our tongues, like many of us have, you know, make known that it needs to change. It need to change. You know, and I think the only way to stop speaking Spanish, if you're not Spanish, you got to learn your own language. But you gonna have to go deep, Bubba. You gonna have to go deep. Yes, you is. You gonna have to go deep, because Hebraicus is the perfect example. Hebraicus. You feel me? That's what is it? You're a Latin derivative. And y'all thinking that's, you know what I'm saying, you think that's Hebrew. That word itself is a Latin word. I'm gonna tell you like this, it's more deeper than that, and that's all I'm gonna say on that part. But yeah, everybody not chosen. The Most High doesn't love everybody. That's an absolute lie. Um, his character is reflected through his people, and people have tried to reconfigure um or re-piece or re-image, remaster the image, I guess. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, they changed it, trying to make the Most High into their image and likeness according to their opinions and perceptions and emotional positions or dispositions. And then that's what fits their worldview or their whole, identity as far as like this, that, and the third, and cans and cannots, do's and do nots, haves and have nots and shit like that. That's not how this works. You know why it's not 20 degrees on an 80-degree day? Because you're not in control. You want it to be 20 degrees, you project it like that, it's standing third, but it's still 80 degrees because the Most High say it's gonna be 80 degrees. Motherfucker. Straight up.